Hello friends, welcome to It's a Ootsy Thing and What's for Supper. Tonight's supper is going to be something that I do on pretty much every Friday night. And this is Friday night. It's hamburgers, or onion burgers, I guess if you want to call it, because I like to grill some onions as well. So I'll be making onion burgers, but I'm also going to try something new. Instead of doing French fries, I'm going to do sweet potato fries. And these are done in the oven, but I'm just going to use my little toaster oven. I like to call it my easy bake oven because you can toast and bake and all that kind of stuff in it. So if you hear this in the background, I'm churning butter. So it's almost done. So I'm going to get started. I've already started chopping up my sweet potato fries. And we're ready to, after I get finished doing this, then I'll add the spices to it. Now that I have my sweet potato cut up into strips, you can see here that it's strips. I'm going to take some olive oil and just spritz all over these sweet potato fries. Then I'm just going to stir them to make sure they're well coated. And I think they are. I'm going to go ahead and spritz my pan as well. All right, and here's what I'm going to season them with. Okay, I've got a tablespoon of, I'm going to do this in a separate bowl, a tablespoon of cornstarch, half teaspoon of paprika, half teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of onion powder, half teaspoon of salt, and half teaspoon of pepper. Now I'm just going to give that a little stir. And then I'm going to pour this on to the sweet potato fries. And then I'm just going to kind of toss that all around so all of those seasonings are on all of it. Okay, now that it is all coated, I am going to spread them out on this little cookie sheet. I'm going to put it in my little toaster oven, my easy bake oven, if that's what I like to call it, is my easy bake oven. I'm going to put it on 425 because I want them to be crispy. And I'm going to say approximately 30 minutes. It may take longer. I'm just going to have to watch and see that they are done. But I want them tender, but I also want them crispy on the outside as well. So I'll get these in the oven and get them going, and then I'll get my burgers ready. And I might add that the setting on that little oven is convection, so it may not take as long as I think it will. So now I'm going to get my burgers ready. Here's how my butter turned out. I'll put it in a container and I'll have it ready for when I need it. And there's really no trick to putting a hamburger together. Just making the patties. Now, I make a good sized patty whenever I'm doing my burgers. Out of this 1 pound, I'm going to get 3 burgers. 2 pretty good sized ones and 1 a little bit smaller. And the way I season my burgers is just Lowry seasoning salt and pepper. That's all I do. I fry my burgers on our pellet grill, and I cook them on 250, and it takes about 20 minutes for them to be done. So I'll go put those on the smoker. I also like to do grilled onions whenever I cook hamburgers on the grill. So here's how I do this, and let me tell you, it takes these burgers to a whole new level whenever I do these grilled onions. It is so delicious. And like I said, I make these pretty much every Friday night. And not always do I do the grilled onions, but when I do, my husband will say, these burgers taste so good. So I know it takes them to a whole new level when he says that they're really good without being prompted. And so what I do is I just slice my onions real thin. And I don't know if you saw what I just did, but I laid a wet dish rag down here because these onions are very strong and they were burning my eyes. And what onions do is the smell goes to where the moisture is, which was my eyes. Because I put that dish rag down there, the smell is going to that and is not burning my eyes near as bad. It's a little trick that I learned from Coffee Time with John and Mama. If you've not ever heard of them, it's on Facebook. They're also on YouTube. And that's a little trick that he had. Okay. Before I put my onions in, some of this butter that I just made, I'm going to take a big old scoop of it and put in my cast iron skillet. Now, if you don't have a cast iron skillet where you can do this on your pellet grill or on your gas grill, your charcoal grill, whatever, you can do this on the stove. But since I'm going to be cooking outside, I'm just doing it all outside. So I've put a big old chunk of butter on there, probably 2 tablespoons. I've got this onion sliced really thin. I'm just going to break it all up, put it in the skillet. And now I'm going to take that Lowry seasoning salt that I used on the hamburgers, cover the onions really good with that, really good with pepper, and I'll go put these on the grill with the hamburgers. Now on our hamburgers, I like to use what is referred to as the McDonald's quarter pound sauce. And basically all it is ketchup, mayonnaise, and pickle relish. And you just, sweet pickle relish. You just mix that all together to make it look like the quarter pounder sauce, that special sauce. And it makes these burgers so yummy. So that's what I like to put on our burgers. And they are almost done. I just went and checked them on the grill. I will tell you, on the sweet potato fries, when they were about halfway done, or halfway through baking, I flipped them so that they could cook on the other side as well. So you will probably want to do that. And of course, a hamburger is however you want to make your hamburger. I've got the special sauce. I do pickles. We have our grilled onions. Now our burgers. Add some of our sweet potato fries. I had some coleslaw left over from one of our meals at the first of the week, so I've also added that. So look at that fine looking burger. Looks pretty amazing, don't you think? And the sweet potato fries, let's see here. Those are good. Those are very good. I'm not going to take a bite of the burger because that would just be a mess. So, anyway, I hope you give it a try. Puts a fancy twist on a hamburger. Easy to do. You'll be done in no time. So, thanks for following along. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time on It's a Ootsy Thing and What's for Supper. Enjoy your meal.